In this tutorial we'll be looking at the Crafty Crossing game, which is in Adventure 9. This is the big adventure. This is where you'll be using all the skills you've learnt in the previous adventures to make your own mini-game in Minecraft. Before we get started looking at the code though, let's explore the game. Crafty Crossing is a platform game. The objective of the game is to get to the other side of the arena while collecting all the diamond blocks and avoiding the obstacles such as the bridge and the wall and the holes that randomly appear in the floor before the time runs out. If you fall down one of the obstacles, you get put back to the start of the game. As you can see, it's not as easy as it looks. To collect the diamond blocks, you have to hit them by right clicking the blocks while holding a sword before making your way through the obstacles and to the other side. When you reach the other side, the level is complete and it gets a little bit harder. There are more diamond blocks to collect, and you've got less time to do it. All the time being aware that if you fall down one of the holes or into the river, you get put back to the start. And before you know it, you're out of time and the game is over. So let's see how the program works. The program is split into a number of parts. After importing the modules you'll need, the first part is around creating the arena. The first thing we do is create some constants for the arena, which is its size, how big it is in X, Z and Y. And we then create a function which, when passed a position, which is where it should create the arena, will first of all create the floor as a block of grass, and then create walls around the arena in glass. Now the second part of the program is around building the obstacles, the things that get in the way of the player and try and slow them down. There's the wall, the river and the holes. And broadly, the obstacles all work in the same way, whereby after creating a connection to Minecraft, we set up some constants. In this case, how many holes to create, and over how many blocks should the holes be spread. And what the holes does is it loops while it's not the end of the game, and creates 15, that being the number of holes we want, random positions, and appends them to a list called holes. It then goes through some code to loop through each one of those holes and set the hole to black wool, so it turns black for a quarter of a second before opening up the holes by creating a hole of air, sleeping for 2 seconds, then closing up the holes by turning them back to grass, and then sleeping again. And the program will loop through this until it's game over. And the river and the wall are done in similar ways. Once the obstacles have been created, the next part of the program is all about introducing gameplay. So the point about gameplay is to make your game challenging and give the player a goal. Now we've made it challenging by putting obstacles in the way. We're giving the player a goal by getting them to collect the diamonds and to do so within a time limit. So we're going to create another function called create diamonds, which will create a number of diamonds however many are passed to it, at random positions in the arena. Now the main program calls the functions that we've created above to create a complete game. So we create a connection to Minecraft. We then build the arena based on our player's position. We then create our obstacles: the wall, the river and the holes. And we run these in their own thread. Their own thread means that the obstacles will run independently from the main program, allowing our game to continue while the obstacles continue to either go up or down, or for the bridge to go across, or for the holes to appear and close up again. We then set up the levels. So we create some constants. So there's 3 levels in our game, and for each level we set the number of diamonds and the timeout. So for level 1, you have to collect 3 diamonds in 30 seconds. For level 2, 5 in 25, and level 3, 9 in 20. And we set the level to be level 0, and the points to be 0. We then have 2 main loops. The first one is our game loop. Now the game loop loops until game over and sets up each level. The second loop is called the level loop, which loops till either the player completes the level by collecting all the diamonds and getting to the other side of the arena, or the time runs out and it's game over. So when each level starts, we create the diamonds within the arena, and we set the position of the player to be at the start of the arena, and we also start the clock. For each level, we loop and find out, has a diamond been hit? If it has, we set that diamond block to air and reduce the number of diamonds that we've got to collect by 1. We also get the player's position and work out, has the player fallen down, i.e. fallen down a hole or fallen into the river. If we have, we set their position back to the start. We also check to see, has the player got to the end of the arena and collected all the diamonds. If they have, the level is complete. We also check, has the time expired? So we look at how many seconds are left by taking the timeout for this level and minusing the time it is now from the time we started. If the number of seconds left is less than 0, it's game over. At the end of each level, we calculate the points if the player has completed that level. So if they've completed the level, they earn points for every diamond they collect times by the number of seconds that are left on the clock. And we tell the player how many points they scored for that level and set the program to run the next level. If it's the last level, so the current level they're on is equal to the number of levels, it's game over, but it's congratulations. And once it is game over, we post the message to the chat window to tell them how many points they've scored.